Oh, yeah, we live. We live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to D Build Your Brand podcast. We back for another season, first episode, which I'm definitely excited about. We got a commitment coming. We got my boy Coach Tat coming as well, and we have Coach Bailey. Um, I want to make sure I introduce her the right way. I told I wasn't gonna talk too much junk, but I want everybody to know that she just won the 5A state championship this season with the Chaos Girls basketball team, and I'm just excited to have on Elle. She got time to take away from watching the USC game to get on my podcast, so you know that I'm excited and I'm gonna bring the heat with her while I'm on here. So, Coach Will, do you like to say anything, speak, and let people know who you are?
I'm Coach Bailey, Kendra Bailey, head girls basketball coach at Kell High School in Marietta, Georgia. We did just recently win state for 5A in the state of Georgia. So happy to be here.
Definitely. So, what we're gonna start with is we're not gonna start on Kel. We're gonna go back to where you're originally from, Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm pretty sure you grew up a Tennessee Volunteers fan, as well, Pat Summit. And I hate to say it, like I'm not a big Tennessee football fan, but it was always something about Pat Summit that I loved and I always wanted to, have teams like what Pat Summit had coming up. As far as you being from Tennessee, how much of an impact did the Tennessee Volunteers have in you playing basketball?
Definitely had a great impact. I grew up a Lady Ball fan. Definitely grew up a Pat Summit fan, going to the Lady Ball basketball camps when I was younger, watching them. Some of my favorite players to this day were used to be Lady Balls. So just obviously the way that she coached kind of gave me some inspiration to be the kind of coach I am today. She definitely preached defense. She loved her girls, but also, was hard on them to make them better. So I think a lot of the characteristics that I have as a coach, I get from her, definitely for sure.
That's big time. And what other person to follow besides the great Pat Summit? Your favorite player, which I'll give you one of mine first, but your favorite Tennessee Volunteer player, and I'm not gonna say Candace Parker because I feel like that's a cliche answer,
Yeah.
but Shamika Holesclaw is probably like the best ever volunteer player that I've ever grew up to watch us play.
I mean, she's good, and obviously, I love going to college with Candace Parker. She was there the same time I was there, but I would say Tamika Catchings is my all-time favorite Lady Ball.
Yes, Tamika the goat too. I didn't really get to see Tamika play as much, but when I really was getting into the Volunteers, it was because of Shamika. Like I wanted to see I wanted to see her bring the pain to everybody, and she used to bring the pain to Georgia Bulldogs when she played as well. Um, Coming out of Tennessee, you played basketball and softball in high school.
I was on the softball team. I wouldn't say I played. I did track. I just tried to expand my horizons. Obviously, played basketball growing up. I did track. I was actually really good at track. I just hate it. And softball, I only played softball because my basketball coach was the softball coach. So basically, I was just the runner, the pin. What do they call it? Pinch runner.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was just too slow paced for me. I don't like outside sports. It's cold one day, it's raining one day. I just was over it. It was all right, but it wasn't like basketball's indoors, it's fast paced, and I just wanted to be at basketball. So I did try out. I finished what I started. I finished the whole season. And then at the end of the season, I was like, I will not be back. So thank you for having me, but I will not be back.
that was on. So you only did 1 year of softball.
Mm-hmm.
How many years of basketball?
Oh, a lot. I can't remember. I think I started playing basketball in elementary school. So I'll probably say like third or fourth grade is when I started, like YMCA ball.
Yeah, that's all. That's all of us. I can take that. So, as much as we talk about you going to Tennessee, you weren't really looking to be a basketball coach while you were at Tennessee, right?
Well, honestly, I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be involved in sports somehow. Did sport management as my um, degree because I just knew that it was sports related. And I was like, I'll just do this and I know I like it and I'll figure out what I want to do afterwards. And so my senior year, my practicum, I actually coached AAU with, I worked at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And then one of the people I worked with at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, she was like, I have an AAU team. I need an assistant coach if you want to help. And I was like, sure, I don't have anything else to do. And I ended up loving it. So then I decided that I wanted to coach. So then the rest is history.
Definitely history. That's the history that we're gonna get to as well. And coaching in Tennessee, you coached your first coaching job was at Franklin, right?
Yeah, where I went to high school. So after I graduated, I came back to my high school and coached. I was like ninth grade coach, and then just like assistant varsity.
Okay, and left there. Went to. I can't remember the academy, Battleground Academy, right?
Wait, would you say you cut out?
Battleground Academy was the next stop.
Okay. I was at BGA for a couple of years, and then I think it was after that I got my first head coaching job.
You got thrown into your first head coaching job. So, with that being said, like just when you got your first head coaching job, because that's something that I look to be in the future. So just listening, so me hearing you say like, what did you look forward to as far as your first head coaching job, and what did you have to figure out?
Honestly, I was terrified. I had reached out. The principal I had known since I was younger, so I reached out because I wanted to be an assistant coach. Honestly, and she was like, "Why don't you just interview for the head coaching job?" And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. My goal, my 5-year plan was like I have two more years, and then I'll be, try to be your head coach. So she said, just interview for it. I interviewed for it, and then I got it, not expecting to get it at all. So the first year was tough. I was in grad school. First year as a teacher, full-time teacher, first year as a head coach, and in grad school. So, I cried pretty much every day. I would say the biggest lesson that I learned my first year as a head coach was to be consistent. I was young, and the kids, I didn't put my foot down from the beginning. Let's just say that. So it took a couple of times, and it took a couple of people to tell me to have your rules, stick to your guns, don't change it for anything. I think we started out like 0-3, 0-5, something like that. And I got called into the principal's office. And they were like, you need to get together. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, well, I wasn't even trying to be here. So y'all put me in this position. But I'm glad that they did, because I had to learn really quick. I had to get it together really quick. And I learned so many lessons that first year. And then I think after that, I just kept immersing myself in ways that I could get better. I was going to coaching clinics. I was watching games, taking notes everywhere, traveling, getting mentors, just doing whatever I can. I'm like, okay, this is something I really want to do and really want to be good at. So I really need to make sure that I'm putting forth my full effort to be the best that I can be. And so, yeah, it started out a little rough, but it's gotten much better.
Definitely. And the one word that I use a lot, and my best friend whose shirt I'm actually wearing, Deontay Robbins, we use consistency a lot. Mm-hmm. So just hearing that come from you is something that I'm gonna make sure that I write in bigger bold letters as consistency and sticking to my guns, like you said. So after you got the Pearl Con job, you won 2 Coach of the Year awards, and I think made it to 4 trips to the Tennessee State playoffs.
No, first year I think we were okay. I think it was the third year is when we really started clicking. Second year I think we made it to region. Third year is when we made it to state. So in Tennessee it's different. So in Georgia you have the region, and then you go to state, and then you have the bracket. In Tennessee you have the district, and then you have to top 4 from the district go to region.
Okay.
Top 2 from the region go to sub-state. Then you have to win your sub-state game to go to state, and then at state you have like 3 more games. So it's like a much longer process. You could end up playing somebody. I think we played East Nashville 4 times my junior year. Same team, because we played them in the district 2 times in the regular season, district championship, region championship, and could have ended up playing them in the state championship. So it's really different in Tennessee. And then you're playing teams from, all over. So we were successful like that third year. And I think my last year there, we ended up making it. We didn't make it to state. We made it maybe to the region championship. I can't remember. It was so long ago. I'm getting old.
Hey, oh no, I don't say that. We can't say that. But I will say, like, just winning in Tennessee got you the opportunity to come to Georgia. Once again, as far as just being able, you used to stay in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I lived in Georgia till like 4th grade. 3rd grade, I moved to Tennessee 4th grade. Yeah, okay. So I lived in Henry County, moved to Tennessee with my family, and then I ended up moving back. And I had family here, and I just had friends here, and I just wanted something different. Georgia basketball is it's different. Yes. In Tennessee, coaching in Tennessee definitely was a great experience, and it definitely challenged me. But I felt like I could only go so far, I guess you would say. And I kind of wanted to give myself a little bit of a harder challenge. Not saying that Tennessee's not a hard challenge, but like I said, like the amount of talent that's in Georgia, the amount of different coaches, like programs, like it's just a different breed. And I don't think people really understand it until they come down here. So it was just super fascinating to me. So I was just like, well, I'm going to try. If I get an opportunity, I'll go. If I don't, that means that's not what's for me. So I'm here. So I guess this was what.
Yeah, I'll go for that too. For me, like I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. I came from coaching at a single A school to going to 7A, and just the difference between it, like it's gamers in every classification, but just how basketball is played is totally different. So when people do come to Georgia and see basketball, if you watch 1A basketball and then you look at 7A or 6A, you'll see just how much competitive and how different, because most of the time the talent doesn't sway either way, because anybody can win and really any classification, but definitely 7A, 6A, 5A too. For me, it was a great experience and I love it. So we're gonna go from Tennessee back to Georgia to Discovery. And you put in the work in Discovery to get the opportunity at Cal.
Sorry, say that again. My internet keeps breaking out.
So you went to Discovery after you left Tennessee. After Discovery, you got the opportunity to coach at Cal, right?
Yeah. Discovery was just like my foot in the door in Georgia. Obviously you're leaving Nashville and then you're going to 7A. So I'm in a region with like Norcross, North Gwinnett, Collins Hill that year was in my region. So I was in for like a rude awakening when I came down to Georgia. I think first year was a learning experience for me being in Georgia as well, learning how different things are, how things are done. And then I was able to Coach Brooks, who was the coach before me at Discovery, I think did a really good job of laying the foundation there, because it was a brand new school when she got there. I think she laid the foundation, and then I just kind of came and took it, just up one notch. Had some really good athletes, and had girls that really I think didn't realize how good they could be, because those girls, a couple of them played in college, but they didn't realize they had the talent they had until, it took them to see like, oh, we actually can be good. We make it to state. And I think that was a great experience for me. And I appreciate the administration and the people at Discovery for letting me come down here and make my mark on Georgia. And then I just use what I did there. And I appreciate the administration at Cal for seeing in me what someone may not have seen, because if you look at the whole record of me at Discovery, you may not think that I was worthy of the Kel job. I know a lot of people thought like, not thought, also said, I heard a lot of people saying like, how does she get this job at Kel? Because you're looking at, you know, what I did at Discovery, but you're like, oh, it's, you know, it's Discovery. So maybe they didn't think that I could handle the job at Kel. But I appreciate my administration at Kel for seeing in me like what I could be. And so I really love it at Kel. I really love it there.
So when you got to Kel, and I remember the hire because Amaya Moss actually was on the Build Your Brand podcast coming up because I was real big on getting involved with just the girl side of basketball in the state of Georgia. So Amaya was one of the kids that I got a chance to just work with and see. So coming into that time, y'all made it to the 2022 Final Four. Mm-hmm. So coming off that being your first year and people saying what they said, but losing in the Final Four, what did you do to take it to the season after that?
Obviously us losing in the Final Four was not what we had planned, predicted or anything. We use that as motivation. Like, one thing I can say about my girls is they have the same mindset as me. We do not like to lose. You may knock me down one time, but you're not going to get me again. So we went back and we went back to the drawing board. We had a team meeting, and then we went hard this summer. I really made it a point to like schedule hard. In the summer, we went to a lot of camps. We actually went down to South Carolina and played at the USC team camp. And then I scheduled us really hard during the season so that we could see whatever we're going out of town, we're going on trips, we're playing whoever. I'm not running from anything because I want to make sure that if we ever get in that position again, we don't fall to adversity. We know how to, to get through it. And I know some people may say like, the 5A classification of like is weak or whatever, which I don't think so, because I think there's great teams in 5A. I know some people online have been saying that, we're really not that good and we blew through the competition. But like, in my opinion, those games were not close because of the schedule that we played throughout the year, right? Like I schedule hard. I lose my second leading scorer to a torn ACL in November. We're playing Hoover. She goes down with a knee injury. We're down like 20, I think, against Hoover. So after that, it kind of like went like this. McEachern, I think, was the turning point for us. We lost in overtime to McEachern. And then we had to come to Jesus meeting after that. And so like that part kind of, obviously everybody's going to have their opinion, but like you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. You have no idea what a program is doing or suffering with or going through day in or day out. All you see is the end product. You have no idea how much these girls worked their butt off and how much they wanted to win that state championship, and we're not going to let anything stand in their way. So regardless if you think 5A is a weak classification or whatever, at the end of the day, my girls we were heartbroken last year, and we made sure we weren't going to be heartbroken this year. So we did what we set out to do. We made a list of goals for the season, and we accomplished those goals, and that's what matters to me.
And one thing that a lot of people can tell, and I can tell just by talking to you, is the passion. Mm-hmm. So like me, I'm passionate about basketball, and I can tell that you're passionate about basketball as well. So just hearing that and understanding, people don't understand what we as coaches go through in the background, whether it's people that don't know about basketball, people that do know about basketball. They don't understand just the work that we have to do to make everything work, everything come together, except the coaches that are coaching the program. But for me, just being able to see Kel make it happen and knowing, like, just following the girls that came, because one girl in particular that everybody should know about is Crystal Henderson. But even with Crystal Henderson and it's your seniors, the ones that went through so much, that came through and just seen the losses that they had coming out of that was state runner-ups in 2020. 2021 made it to the Elite Eight, Final Fours at 22, and finally to be a state champion after 4 years. Like, what was it about those seniors that uh just kept this team, like you said, through adversity and just continue on to make it to that ship?
Yeah, I say that my seniors just lead so well. Like I cried last week because I'm gonna miss them so much because to them, like it is important. Like as a coach, there's no greater feeling than having kids that have the same mindset as you. Like having kids that have that dog in them that are gonna go out there and do whatever they have to do. Like if I say go get a bucket, they're gonna go get a bucket. You know what I mean? If I say who can stop her, they're gonna stop them. Like that mindset that my seniors have is just like so unmatched. And they did not want to leave their career on a bad note. You know, we got back to the Final Four, and the first thing when we got back to the Final Four this year, they put us in that same locker room. So the first thing we say when we go there is like, we got to get our lick back. That's what we say. Like, we're in the same locker room. We're in the same gym. This might not be the same team, but this is our chance to rewrite our story, right? Like last year, the story didn't end how we wanted it to. This year, we get the chance to rewrite it. So we did that. Then we get back to Macon. Seniors, y'all got to get y'all lick back. Like last time y'all were in here, y'all lost. So, you know, that's just the biggest thing. Like they wanted to rewrite their story. They wanted to be the author of their story and how they went out their senior year. And they were going to be like, nobody was standing in their way. So as a coach, like, am I on the sidelines, calling timeouts, making the play calls? Yeah, absolutely. But like the heart, the drive, the intensity that those girls have, you cannot coach that. And I'm just so grateful to like have had some kids like that because yeah, there's hard days, but it makes it so much easier to coach a group of girls who want it just as bad as you do.
I'll go for that. I like that. So it's two more things that I want to ask. When the state championship game was going on and you finally realized that you were about to be a state champion, what was it that just what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking at that moment?
Just gratitude, like how blessed we were to be in that position because there were a lot of hard days. Like I said, nobody sees the behind the scenes. Nobody sees not only what we go through as coaches with a program, but your kids. Like these kids are going through things at home. These kids are going through things at school. These kids are persevering. Like, you know, you got to make sure they ate today. You got to make sure they had a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just so much more. And then when you're like winning the championship, you're just like, all of it was worth it. All the long hours, all the long nights, all the stressful days, it was all worth it. And just so proud of them and just so grateful that I got the opportunity to be their coach and that they got the opportunity to like finish their career the right way.
Okay. Yeah, I like that, coach. I like that. And last thing, what is something that just any coach that's coming up or just going, whether it's boys basketball or girls basketball, what is something that you would tell them?
I would say one, like have a plan, have goals. So like I sit down before every season. I have individual meetings with my kids and I have them write down their goals for themselves. I write down goals that I have for them. I write down goals for myself as a coach. Like I want to, if I'm going to push these kids to be better every day, I got to also push myself to be better every day. And I understand that like I have so much more to learn. And then, like I said, consistency. Like if these are your rules, you're sticking to them because they're teenagers and they're going to try you. And, you know, you got to make sure you're consistent in your actions. I just try to lead by example. And just, I want them to be great kids on and off the court. Like, I want them to be great basketball players, but I want them to be even better people. And I have kids that still call me to this day. A couple of my girls called me the night we won the state championship. The ones from Pearl Cone that when we lost in the state championship called me like, you finally got your ring. Like, basketball is so important to me, but the relationships that I have with those kids, those last forever. You know, 10 years from now, like they're still going to call me if they need something. And like, yeah, I'm glad to be a state champion. I'm glad to have won a ring, but like, I would rather have those relationships. Like that's so much more important to me. So I would just say like, you know, make sure your kids know who they can go to. That's like the number one thing for me.
Man, coach, I promise you, you gave a lot of gems just to have and for people to really see. And I want to thank you for, and because I'm not gonna hold you because I know we both trying to watch the game. But again, thank you for coming on the show because you could have been doing anything else like watching the game. But thank you so much, and I'm pretty sure that um, everyone will anyone listening right now will be able to take notes and hopefully one day become a state champion like you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So again, good luck next season. Hopefully we'll run into a gym near each other and just again get to chop it up and I get to pick your brain again.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, you gotta love a person that's passionate about coaching. One thing about Coach Bailey is she knows the work that we have to put in. She knows how to become a champion because she is a champion. Again, shout out to Kels girls basketball team for winning the 5A state champion. My next guest is my big brother. He just clicked in, so let me get him situated and get him on. What's happening, Tat?
What's up, brother?
I
What's
don't
going on with you, man?
I don't know it, man. We got to see what's going on with Kev and see if we can go on and get him on here too. So me and you can pick his brain before he pick what school he want to go to.
Okay,
Yeah, how everything going though?
man. Everything is going, man. Just rocking and rolling. Just get
Well,
these two of mine situated and all this stuff. You know how that goes.
well, you can't do now with AJ anyway.
Nah,
He different. AJ different.
man.
He just
I'm
like you.
bro. Listen, let me tell you something. AJ is a handful, man. And when I asked a long time ago for me to have a son and him to be just like me, I'm I take it back. That boy just like me, man. Every bit of me, man. But I mean, that comes with the territory, man.
Man, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Look what KP put out there.
Yeah, man.
We got Kevin popping up right now, so let's get Kevin on the stream. See what we can get going right here. Okay, that better. We good to go now. Kevin, what going on, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
Look, I got my big brother Coach Tat with me, man. We just want to make sure that we get you in and get you out, but we're gonna have a couple questions
For
and,
sure.
and just to get before we even decide to let you show what schools that you have. For me, I want to ask you to let the world know. Can you please let the world know who you are?
I'm Kevin Taylor. I'm a sophomore at Iowa Central. I'm from Georgia. That's basically it right now.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. But how long you been playing basketball?
I've been playing since I was 5 years old. Ever since.
Yeah, and I got a couple of pictures of you growing up, coming out playing basketball. I'll definitely ask you about some of the pics that I got. Just but for me, I want to ask you like coming out of high school, you came into a point where that was around what COVID, right? Coming out of high school.
Yep. COVID. Yep.
And that made it crazy, recruiting crazy for a lot of us or people that were trying to help guys like me and you working together, trying to find you a great place to go. But when you got the opportunity to go to Iowa, what were some challenges of going JUCO and playing JUCO basketball?
I feel like the biggest challenge was obviously like being away from family. I'm like, I got no family out here. But the biggest thing for me, it was like the game's way different playing in JUCO. It's faster. Guys are more physical, stronger, faster. So it's a lot. It's a lot of different challenges that I faced. But I feel like the biggest one was just putting on, getting muscle. That was the biggest thing that I faced. My freshman year coming in as a high school kid. I was probably 6'5", maybe 170. I don't even know if I was that big. So that was the biggest.
So how many pounds you gained after these 2 years at Iowa?
I'm right now. I'm at like 185, 190, but it's kind of it's hard to put on weight after during the season because you run in so much. So right now, that's kind of my biggest focus is putting on some weight.
Yeah,
Be ready for the next level.
Because the school that's going to get you is going to love what KT brings to the table. And I should have actually got a recording of you playing basketball, but I'm gonna make sure people know exactly who KT is and why we have him on the show. Because I met KT at I think On the Radar camp, and our relationship has been close ever since. So it was only right for me to ask him to come in and let me give him an opportunity to let people know where he's going and why he's going. But before we do that, Coach Tat, you have any questions for KT?
No, the only question I got it. Well, it ain't really a question, but let some of these kids know that's going through the recruitment process right now. How adamant was it for you to be patient?
It's extremely important. You gonna know when it's the right fit. You just gonna know. Like it's gonna come to you. You gonna know the fit. I feel like the biggest thing is whether you have one offer or you have 25 offers. You gonna know the right fit. And if that one offer, you think it's the right fit, go ahead and do that. Or if that's your first offer you just got and you think that's the right fit, do it. Don't sit on these offers because especially during now, I would say for these high school kids, it's extremely important because there's Juke and now there's the portal. There's a lot of kids that can just take your spot. So if a coach believes in you and you really think he believes in you and that's the right fit, take it. Don't sit on it. But be patient in the process. I would say, there could be kids right now with no offers and in a week they could blow up. So, and pick up 5 offers in a week. So I feel like it's extremely important to be patient, but also trust the people around you. Like trust people to promote you, trust your work, trust your game, and just really just work on yourself. If you think you got to just keep getting better. That's the biggest thing. So just be patient with it though.
I like that a lot. For me, another question that I have is the weather. Like how different was the weather in Iowa and the weather here in Georgia?
It's different. Actually, I mean, it snowed yesterday. I think it snowed yesterday, and the day before it was like 56. So it's kind of on and off. The weather is crazy here. The wind is probably the worst thing. The wind is crazy, but I've never experienced a winter like I did my freshman year and my sophomore year. It's crazy, man. I'm happy to get back, to the South and some good weather.
So I actually seen that you had some hockey trophies.
Yeah.
Like, could you still play hockey to this day?
No, I don't think I can ice skate still. But I mean, if I get on there, man, I'm not gonna lie. That was my first love over basketball. It was hockey.
That's crazy. So, like, loving hockey should already determine how tough you are.
Yeah.
And speaking of tough, it was a picture that I wanted to pick out. I have, and I want to ask you about just what happened. Let me see here. Let me see this pic right here. What happened?
I got I think we was in Kentucky and I got elbowed. I was probably like the biggest kid on our team, so I was playing center. There's a guy, he was probably, I don't know how big he was. He is probably like 6'6", 6'10", and he came down with an elbow and elbowed me. I think I instantly like blacked out, went out the game, came back in the game, and tried to keep playing. Really, I was, I just couldn't stop yet. I wanted to keep playing, but yeah, this was I had a black eye. My dad tried to say that he gave me the black eye.
That's crazy. And then you continue. You say you continue playing even with the black eye.
Yeah, I continued playing in the tournament. I played. I ended up. I think I came out after when it happened, and I went back in, and I played the rest of the tournament with a black eye.
That's crazy. That's tough. And see again, like playing hockey made you tough. You got a black eye as well, and for me, I have to ask you about this picture as well because I think it also determined just how tough you were as well on that picture. And I can't tell you where I got all my pictures from. Just know that I have them, and I don't even remember if I saved it. But I will bring up the story of you having to um go to the doctor. You had hurt your finger, and he told you the only way that you will be able to play is if you moved your finger. How crazy was that, and how hard was it? Because your dad said that you had tears coming out of your eyes.
Oh, I just got back from nationals actually, so I was a young, really super young. Um, Man, I did not want to move my finger. It was hurting, but I mean, I knew I had to. Like, it was just like I wanted to keep playing basketball. I never want to stop playing basketball. So like, I had to do what I had to do. I mean, even if it was hurting or not, just kind of had to do it.
Well, hey, your love with the game definitely lets me know just how determined you are, your toughness as well. For the people that are waiting and looking on, the I'll just say your top 3 or your top 4 schools. Who were they?
So my top 4 was Converse University, Vanguard, Emory and Henry, and then Iowa Westland.
Okay, all right. So with that being said, because we're not gonna let everybody just continue to wait. What school do you look to take your next couple of years with?
It's gonna be a big one for the next 2 years. My journey, I'm gonna be joining the family at Emory and Henry.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, okay. Love.
Yep.
Shout out to my guy, Coach Khalil, man.
Yep.
Definitely one of those ones, one of those great guys to really talk to when it comes to basketball and life in general. So just being able to connect you two was great in itself. But why Emory and Henry?
Oh man, it's a family. Like, it's people use the word family a lot, but it's like a real family. I could just tell when I get on campus. Coach Thompson, his father's on the staff. Like, that's real family right there. But just being around the guys, being on campus, just the love I got from the coaching staff, the how genuine the coaching staff really is. Like, it's not just love on the phone. When I got on campus, it was the same love that I was getting through the phone, all that stuff. And I just got on campus and I knew it was home. Like, I knew this is where I wanted to be. I knew this is who I want to play for. The coaching staff's amazing. It's the best league in Division II. So, I just couldn't pass up an opportunity like that.
And it's home.
Yeah.
It's home. So you're gonna be able to. People gonna be able to come through. I'm gonna be able to pull up and actually see you play.
Yes, sir.
Again, man, like I'm excited because I know the journey. I know just how crazy it was those COVID years of trying to get somebody recruited, and it still is crazy. But just to be able to see that journey and to know, like, okay, I know when KT gets here, he's gonna have a great opportunity. And shout out to the coaching staff for all the hard work that they put in, man.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. That's big.
They got a nice recruit class coming in too.
Yeah, there is now.
What you got, Tat? You got anything?
No, man, just want to tell them congratulations, man, and for the young people that's watching, man, it's should be an encouraging thing to see you go through your process and you go ahead and make a choice and get it out of the way so you can start to work as soon as possible. And like I say, man, congratulations and all your endeavors that's coming to you for the next 2 years.
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that one of the goats of the state of Georgia, man. So when he talks, you gotta listen, bro. You gotta listen to what he on. I listen to him all the time, and maybe Mrs. Brooks might say I shouldn't, but I listen to him a lot, man. He's always gonna be able to give you great advice or let you know just how it really is, whether it's good or bad. He's gonna be honest with you. he should be what every coach should be, bro. So in my opinion. So like that's definitely giving it up to my guy Tat. But man, Kevin, I'm happy for you. I'm excited. Coach Khalil, if you're watching the show, definitely got to get me a shirt like that because I know you told me you had me, but I got to get me one like that. So I'm just letting you know what's going on. But again, KT, man, I'm happy for you. Shouts out to your pops. Tell them I didn't get to go through all the pictures, but tell him I just appreciate the time that he took yesterday just to talk to me about you and tell me how great of a kid you are, which I already knew that anyway. But man, big ups to your pops and your mom, bro, because they were super happy yesterday about this opportunity.
I appreciate you, Juke, for real, man. You know it's love.
Oh man, all love, broski. We'll talk again sometime this week, but
Yes, sir.
just keep me posted, and when I'm home, we'll most definitely link, bro.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Man, appreciate you and congrats again, bro.
Congratulations, big dog.
Thank you for having me, Coach Juke.
Man, I got you anytime. You can come help co-host when you want to.
All right. I'm gonna keep your word to that.
Oh, do that, bro. And again, I'm gonna tell you once again, congrats, and remember that work gonna show, bro.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Bet. All right, Tat, man.
Yes,
Tat,
sir.
man, we got our first commitment of the year.
Good, man.
More to come. I'm excited about that. I had told Tat I was nervous earlier about a couple hours ago, because it's all I haven't been on here by myself in a while. So like, I'm usually on there with you, KP, and Charles. And shout out to Charles too, man. He told her what's up. He tuned in. He definitely tuned. Now I get
them my brothers. What's going on?
Now I get to do my interview with my big bro, and just talk about, let him tell everybody where you're from, Coach Tat, for the ones that don't know.
From small old Warner Robins, Georgia, home of the mighty Demons.
He mean that with a lot of passion. If nobody knows about Tat, he's a Warner Robins guy from his toes on the way to the top of his head to his heart. He's a Warner Robins Demon.
Warner Robins Demon. My whole family went to Warner Robins except for one set. We barely claimed them, but they all right though.
Where they went to school at, Tat?
They went to the other school across town, that blue school. They went to that school.
They don't even know. You don't even say that name. I get it.
Nah.
I let me know what that blue school is. I'm still learning the language.
They went to that blue school.
But Tat, having you on, man, is, and I have to reiterate it, like I'm just happy to have my big bro on the show. So I have a couple of questions. But I'm gonna go with, first off, we talked about AJ. We talked about, I had to bring up AJ on that, but coming on a basketball standpoint, I read an article about Coach Malone.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know the impact of what Coach Malone had on you, but also the impact he had on the community as well of Warner Robins.
Coach Malone had a great impact on the community here at Warner Robins, man. That impact has trickled down from me to Coach Garman, to Coach Reggie, to Coach Pooga, everybody that's involved with Demon basketball. It has Coach Malone's imprint on 100% of it. He had, it's almost like it was a father figure for all of us. And a lot of kids that came through that he's coached feel the same way. So he made a big impact on the community. And as far as me, man, every basketball game that I go into, whether it's summer basketball, whether it's a game, AJ game, or a high school basketball game, is Coach Malone imprint is on it. Everything that I ever done basketball wise is with his imprint on it.
I like that, because I actually got to just listen to, like, a couple of people talk about it, talk about just the impact that he had in their life as well.
Mhm.
And for me, like those are coaches that you really have to take with you. For me, playing for Coach McKithen was probably one of the reasons I got the chance to go into coaching, because I never was thinking about coaching. I just wanted to train. But once I got the opportunity to coach, he was one person to tell me that I could do it. So just having an older person that's been in the game for a while tell you to do this, that you can do that. Like I understand just how much of an impact Coach Malone has for you.
Yeah,
And
man.
now go ahead, Ted. Go ahead.
Nah, and I mean it is. I mean it started like right after I got out of high school. I went and did a year down in Middle Georgia. Came back, got me a job, start working for the Board of Education, and that was back in '98, and I was helping him and with basketball, that's driving all over the state of Georgia to go scout, coaching clinics, you name it. We done it together. And he showed me the way. He showed me the ins and outs. And I sat back and I was like a sponge and just looking at things that he done, the way that he do things and how the kids respond to him, how I responded to him, and why he did certain things and certain ways and stuff like that, man. And just trying to just pass that on to the kids that I touch.
And what's crazy is that goes into my next thing, like the impact that you have on these kids. Like, no, not to take away nothing Coach G and the rest of the coaching staff does, because they do a great job as well. But just because I've already had Coach G, so he was able to tell his story. So having you here to tell yours is great too. Um, Coming into coaching, like now, Ted, I see you a lot more going to the different games to see your former players, whether it's for just playing or just singing night. Those kids that you grew up watching come up from the rec to now in college or still in high school, how much of an impact is it for you? And just how does that propels you on for the future, for the present and the future as a coach?
Um, I mean it drives me to see those kids, man. Um, Especially those kids that a lot of people didn't give a chance. Um, and I always talk about Jacoby Owens and Nelson Phillips. Um, a lot of people really didn't give those kids a chance. They really didn't give. They had all the ability, but they really didn't give them a chance to graduate. They written them off by graduating, um, and kind of just early on in their high school career, just he ain't gonna be anything. His grades, he don't come to school, and just stuff like that. And to see their stories now, they're both scheduled to graduate with a college education, with a college degree in May, both of them. So to see their story, like, I mean, you got other kids like Champ Dawson, I mean, who was great during school. So you kind of know he's gonna get in. His dad's a coach, college coach, so he's gonna kind of get in, do what he's supposed to do. But the kids like those two kids that people written off, and to see them going to get their college education and their degree and diplomas in May, that's what we do it for. Kids like that. I mean, even the kids like Jacoby Coleman. Jacoby Coleman graduated from Fort Valley last year. He's at UGA right now, grad school. He played 4 years at Fort Valley. Um, so man, you see those kids to go on and do stuff like that, and not only the basketball kids, you got the military kids, you got the kids that that didn't get a college scholarship, but that is still in school. So you got to have an impact on those kids as well, and I think we do a great job of that because we are honest with them. we tell them, we're gonna tell them right from wrong. We're gonna tell them about how the world is gonna be. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. We're gonna let you know when you graduate, ain't gonna be no more free lunches. Ain't gonna be no more going to school for 8 hours and you're gonna eat. You're gonna have to find you something productive to do now when you get out of that school. So we just try to teach them about life, man. The same way Coach Malone did us.
And I love that, man. And it seems like your voice is hoarse. Did you coach this weekend?
I did, man. Voice hoarse, man, because I've been under the weather a little bit.
Okay.
But it is anything for these kids, man, to try to,
I know, Ted. I already know how hard you go, and I know a lot of people know how hard you go with those kids. And like speaking of Jacoby Owens, just going back to when he was a senior or maybe a junior in high school. Did y'all go to the state championship that year? He on his junior year, or was that like the final?
No, we went to the Sweet 16 and got the brakes beat off us by Buford, their junior year, and we wanted their senior year. Now the year before that, we went to the Final Four, and lost to I
Was that
forgot who we
Sherman
lost
White?
to.
Was
Now
that
we lost
Sherman
to now we lost to Sharm, 13-14. That was our first region. I mean, that was our first state championship game. And 13 and 14, we lost to Sharm that year, and then we turned around and beat him in the Elite Eight that following year, 14-15.
Okay. Because I'm gonna tell you, I remember when Coach G was on here, and you're right, because I couldn't remember exactly how long ago that was, but Coach G was talking about how that taught him that when he lost to Sherman White that year, it taught him what he needed to prepare himself for the couple years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it did. To watch a legend like him and Jeter and Coach Jeter that was at Wilkinson County, Dr. Jeter. To watch them, man, just master the game the way they mastered it, and the in that championship game in 13-14, going in the half, it was only like a 4-point game. And to go back and watch the adjustments that he made to what we were doing, we were still young. We were still young in the coaching game. That was only year 3 for us as a staff. That was only year 4. I want to say that was only year 4 for us as a staff, and that was his 5th straight championship.
Yeah, he was winning a lot.
Yes, he was running out. So him, at his 5th state championship, us being green, we still sending kids out on the floor. It's a TV timeout.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Just it was just little stuff like that. You see them on the other end, they still in the huddle down there, and our kids are standing on the floor. So it's just little stuff like that taught us to, when we got back to, hey, TV timeout, all right, y'all sit. And we discussed, a little bit longer. But, just like I say, just the adjustments that he made, taught us, what we need to do, man, and get better as coaches.
And they did, bro, because y'all actually won before y'all, like even after the state championship that y'all won in 2018. Shout out to Jacoby for that game-winning shot. How many region championships did y'all win in a row?
We end up winning 7 region championships in a row. No, was it 7? 8? Was it 8? It's 7 or 8, and we done lost the last 2, but last 3 now. So we I mean we've been fortunate to have great kids, great parents, to come through the program, man, and great leadership for the administration, that back us on everything. That means a lot as well when you have good administration. But the kids, man, the kids buy into a system, and they do everything we ask.
Yeah, it should, because they got great coaches, and having great coaches, you're gonna listen to those great ones. I can say that. I can speak on that. And one thing that people don't know, that you coach middle school football as well. And for the people that don't follow football, just understand that Warner Robins High School makes it to the state championship seems like every single year. And for me, like, what's important is your feeder system and where you get players from. Because sometimes you can have kids that go to middle school and they don't know the right things to do when they get to high school. But for me, I've got a chance to watch Coach G and Coach Tat and the rest of the coaching staff build a great feeder program to send from middle school to send kids to Warner Robins. So Tat, just give, you don't have to give me the layout, but just give me maybe how many championships y'all won, or just the layout of what you.
We middle school football. We won the county championship last year. And I was we coached eighth grade together. Me, Coach Martin, and Coach Garman, which is a crazy relationship. Coach Martin is the stat. He keeps the stats and assistant coach for our high school boys, but he's the athletic director at the middle school. So he's the head football coach of the eighth grade middle school football team. All right. Coach Garman works for Coach Martin at the middle school, but Coach Martin worked for Coach Garman at the high school.
Crazy.
so literally we are always together because go from football straight to basketball. So we coach together football, and then we turn right around and go right into basketball together. But I mean, we won the county championship. I think the last we've been on a little run right here because our seventh grade won the county championship in football too. So we'll get those guys next year. And the high school they didn't been to the state championship six years in a row. So
and they got a familiar face coming in with the hire.
Yeah. Shane. Yeah, got Coach Sam's in. Coach Sam was actually on that first group that started the state championship run with him and Coach Chastain. He was offensive coordinator. So that first one we lost to Rome. He was the offensive coordinator then. So he's back now. Coach Westbrook left and went to Peach County. So yeah, we're looking to make another run, man.
It's history. It's just history in everything, man, from football to basketball, and you gotta love it. And one thing, Tat, that I want people to know too, like, you're a great family man. So, with that, like I know people always see you and Mrs. Brooks joke around a lot, and just her being right there beside you, Coach Tat, like, how much does that mean for you, as much as the support that she gives?
It means a lot. It takes a lot of stress off. I would say, because when you're doing, and Juke, this, when you're coaching, it takes a lot of your time, and you have to have somebody that understands that. And a lot of times, and a lot of times that too, I guess, is spent with one of the two of those bad kids by my side. Whether it's Kaylin going with me to every basketball game and she does it. She does the filming for us. AJ going to the basketball games, and and he does it. He's the ball boy and all that stuff. So it I don't know, man. It works out for us, I should say, because she understands the hours that it takes and might get home late and all that type of stuff. But it's good, man. I really appreciate it for it.
Yeah, got to. Hey, Tat, I gotta make sure you say that. Hey, I gotta make sure you show your appreciation for Mrs. Brooks. So
yeah,
I know she's gonna tell me thank yous later on. So, because I rock with Mrs. Brooks just as much as I rock with Tat, y'all. Just know that. And Tat, like, bro, we talk about so much, but just being able to interview you and for you to be able to come in and let people know who you are and what you have going on, whether it's with the family, coaching, it's one thing that we deal with a lot, and that's recruiting. Um, what is one thing that, like, I know you could probably piggyback off what KT said, but what is one thing that people have to understand about basketball recruiting right now?
People have to understand and stay patient. It's a backlog in everything. Kids getting in that transfer portal, it backs everything up. Like right now, it's a lot of schools, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, JUCOs that are not even finished with 2023s yet, and 2023s is about to graduate. So they
Yep.
and those 24s are waiting and getting impatient. But you have to stay patient. Your time is coming. Your time is actually coming. And I think that's what a lot of parents need to understand too, is to, when your child is getting recruited or is in that midst of the recruitment, everything's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight, man. And like the kid told you earlier, I mean, just stay patient, because that transfer portal is hurting a lot of high school kids. Because some of these schools, they want that kid that's already college ready. And if they can go get a 6'2" point guard that has 3 years of eligibility left, that's played at least a college year of basketball, before they can go get a kid that's coming out of high school, that they're gonna have to probably teach the system and all that stuff. They're gonna take that kid that's already been in college. So they just got to sit back and relax, man, and let everything fall where it lays.
And I think too, like, now basketball recruiting goes into May, goes into June, and possibly go into July for 2020 for any high school kids looking to get recruited. Every year is gonna trend into May, June, July, and because it takes time for coaches to find you. But I also say it's important to get in front of coaches, whether they're playing for the Warner Robin All Stars or playing for any shoe or independent team. You have to get in front of with the right teams, in front of the right environment, like a On the Radar or EYA type deal. So like it's more so important to get with the right coaches and the right people that care. And one thing about the Warner Robin All Stars is they're going to always show and help their kids. And for me, Tat, like, coming into this year, like, how many kids has Warner Robin All Stars help get to school with going to playing the live events or going to the showcases?
As of right now, I want to say 22 since 2018. And that was the first graduating class, which was happened to be Jacobin, Owens, and Nelson, and the rest of those guys. That was the first graduating class from the Warner Robins All Stars, and I think we had 22 scholarships signed to the date. All of them, all of them still in school? Not problem, no. But it's a handful that's still in school. I mean, I tell you this, we do our job of getting you there, of preparing you, getting you there, visibility, exposure, and now it's gonna be up to you to stay in. Once we bridge that gap to help you get there. But yeah, man, we've done it. We've done a great job, and I won't say we. I say the kids, because I always say we go to tournament, we schedule tournaments and put you on the floor, and you do the rest. So it's not a us. It's a kids thing that get the job done and and catch those coaches' eyes, and we in the background trying to talk, explain to them stuff that they don't know, and that's them and to the parents, and talk to a coach here and there, um, and try to push the process further along. So we've been fortunate with some great parents, great kids. Um, man, it just all of that stuff go hand in hand.
I love that. I love that. For me, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll bring that up in a minute. But I want to say this though, Tat. Let me get it together right here. Let me make sure I got you straight. Because I want to ask you some more questions before we get out of here.
Okay.
I just have to find it. I might not have to find it. I tell you, we'll worry about that later. But I do want to ask you this though, because I've been dealing with this kid since I think he was a 10th grader, maybe coming into his freshman year. If I'm a college coach and I want to come into talk to you about Cam Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know who Cam Perkins is a 2024 point guard who I am very, very highly love a lot. Like, I think he's one of the best point guards to come out of Georgia for the 2024 class. But I'm not going to take that away. I want you to listen to the coach that's around him every day.
Cam Perkins is a workaholic. He's a kid that lives in the gym. He's a very coachable kid. He's a dog. He is a dog. Any college, I'm telling you, whatever college gets this kid is going to love this kid. You ain't got to tell him something but one time. And you really ain't got to tell him, just show him. He does a great job of getting teammates involved. He does a great job of picking his spots to score. He does a great job defensively. I mean, the kid, he's an excellent kid. He's actually 4.0 student, 17 on the ACT. So you ain't got to worry about him off the court. But great parents, Alex and Charity. So he has a great foundation. And I mean, he's just a great overall kid, man. And he's a kid that watches basketball almost nonstop. And he will call me or Coach Garman, or send us plays, or say, hey, what you think about this? Or he might see something during the college game, NCAA tournament, and he'll go screen record and send it to us. What y'all think about this for next year? What about this person being here? And, what about him doing this and doing that? He's a student of the game. And you're right, Charles, he's a floor general, knows where everybody's supposed to be, gets everybody, in their spots offensively and defensively. So like I say, whoever gets this kid, man, is gonna get a winner. And
players coach, man. Players coach.
He's a players coach. And the thing about it is he's been playing 17U since he's been an 8th grader.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. And I thought I knew a lot about Cam. I didn't even know that. That's new.
He was an 8th grader. He played up 17U. And the thing about him, and you know how most kids, when they get that opportunity, they are like, nah, I ain't gonna get much playing time. Or, I ain't gonna score a whole lot. His mentality was totally different. His mentality was, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch Trey Green. I'm gonna watch Keyshawn Hauser. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna battle them at practice.
And those a big boy too.
Yeah, I'm gonna score when I need to. And he took his bumps. They beat him up. Took the ball. He just a little 8th grader. Took the ball from him. Stuff like that. And then it clicked for him. I can compete too. Yeah, I might not be able to get my shot off, but I can get to the basket. I can look for the big. On this pick and roll, I can make that pocket pass. I can set this offense up. I can get everybody in place where they're supposed to be. That's where the floor general came from.
Yeah.
He learned early. Yeah,
he's definitely a floor general.
And he learned early how to handle that ball pressure and get people in place And after that, the next couple of years, he's a ninth grader. He's a freshman of the year in the region. You know, matter of fact, I want to say he was Cal Sanders freshman of the year over the state that year. His freshman year, all team first region. I mean, first team all region as a freshman.
Yeah, that's
No,
crazy.
he didn't score a whole lot. He scored when needed, and he got everybody else involved. Played defense. Hey, I tell you this, went toe to toe with James White as a freshman. You know, James White went on and played at Ole Miss.
That was was that
Heritage.
at
We
the
went played at Heritage.
at Heritage in one of
The hype,
Riders for the hype side?
hype stop
Oh yeah,
invitation.
He had a coming out party that night. I remember
He
that. If
did.
anybody needs to see that film, you need to check that film out. That might have been
He did.
for me. That was one of the big games I seen him play live. Because they had him and RJ Nord too as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yeah, they had
Yes.
two Division I players on that team. I remember that.
And
You know, I'm a big James White fan as well as a Cam Perkins fan. And speaking of fans, I am also a fan of this kid right here. If you can't see his name, Christian Ice Burnett. So I just want to make sure y'all see my board. It usually say that work gonna show tag, but I want people to know that Christian Ice Burnett is still out here. He's a 2023 prospect out of Baldwin County, who actually went to Fire and played a year. But I want people to understand that he's one kid that coaches need to get involved with, and Cam Perkins is another kid that people should get involved with as well.
man, go ahead.
I said before it's too late, they need to get into what Cam Perkins is bringing to the table.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Cam Perkins, Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson is gonna be a steal. Jay Johnson is a utility guy, man, who can do it all. He rebounds the basketball, plays defense. He shoot the three, play with his back to the basket a little bit. Mid range, 6'3" kid, 6'3" shooting guard.
Yep.
Yeah, man, and don't get me started on the young kids, man. The young kids gonna be.
You excited about that young group?
I'm excited, man. I'm gonna tell you something. That Malik Gillespie, man, and Cam Plummer and Justin Hill. And
I love Justin Hill. My bad, Tat. I love that Hill kid, boy.
Yeah,
he lit up about 20. What do you think?
Justin Hill played with us.
Okay, not him then. What's the other? No, he's not young. The other kid from Houston County, the point guard. What's his name?
You talking about Malachi?
Malachi.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he plays. Yeah, he plays with Team Georgia Magic. But Justin Hill is a 2025 kid, man. He's about 6'2.5", shoot the cover off the basketball. He played well these last two tournaments on the radar. And you go down to the ninth grade, to the ninth grade kids, man. And you got tons of kids. You got tons of kids over there. And then we go down to that seventh grade group, man, and there's tons of talent in that group. Sixth grade group, tons of talent. I mean, just excited for all of these kids, man, and to get all of that visibility and exposure now, playing in that battleground on the radar for the younger kids, and then playing in these last two tournaments with on the radar, man. It does wonders for these kids.
People don't understand that, man. That you have to. I'm not saying you have to get with Warner Robins because there's other programs in the state of Georgia that you go to, Georgia Canes, TGM, and plenty more. You can do the shoe stuff or TSF type deal or any of those independent programs are great to go to if they're doing on the radar stuff.
You got Hype South. You got Hype South. Hoops, man. Their middle school. Their middle school program is got some guys as well on that younger group with their kids as well, man. And I'm just excited about these kids, man, here in this area, and helping these kids in this area, man, is a priority that 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 we're here to service now. And when I say that, I mean we like to help the kids that and the parents that want to be helped. Middle Georgia family. Um, we like to help the kids that and parents that want to be helped. Um, you know, and that's just what we do.
Well, I'm gonna end it off with this. For me at Valdosta, we will play Houston County again. Just so you know, they actually come to the cat cage. I want to put that out there. And yeah, I see you because I know you on there, Charles and KP. Y'all come to South Georgia for this game. Believe that. I'm excited about that. But I am also excited that it's a possibility that we'll be playing in the Hype South basketball tournament against Warner Rivals. I don't know if it's stamped, but it's close to getting stamped. And to be able to get the opportunity to coach against my mentors, win or lose, like it's just a blessing in itself because you know how much I look up to you and Coach G. But just in case y'all don't know, I will be given a chance to possibly coach against my two mentors that come into coaching.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think the mighty Hoko back. I know he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that. Man, I'm gonna tell you. I don't think man, Coach G gets the respect, man, that he deserves around the state, man, and it irks me a lot, man, when I hear talks, man, and don't see his name mentioned a whole lot. They don't understand this guy in the last 12 years. Joker done won with 280 games, and they ain't lost for like 70 something. So I mean, been in numerous Final Fours, state championship game twice, won one, lost one. We didn't get out of the first round of region tournament this year, and that was the first time in 12 years.
Yeah, you know that they'll forget about it until you put them back on. And we know what's going on. I know how great of a coach Coach G is as well. So we know what's going on.
I'll tell you.
Salute.
I'll tell you this, and shout out to my boy Coach Buddy, man. Coach Buddy is getting it done over at Houston County, man. He has those kids playing well, playing hard. And he has a stable of kids over there as well, man. And my other guy over there at Northside, man, Coach Reggie Thorpe, he just got the job over there, Northside this year. I'll be his first year as the official head coach over there, man. Another bright young coach that does a great job. And that's Northside, that's the blue school. I normally don't give the blue school any shout outs, but Reggie is my buddy. So I give Reggie my buddy.
Hey, KP, Charles, we might have to say that one because he don't usually give that on the regular like that. He just man, look, Tat, but man, I ain't gonna keep you long. I do want to tell you thank you for coming on the show. I know we'll end up seeing each other on the podcast possibly next Sunday or the Sunday after that. I don't know. I can't really say, but you know, I'm always ready to get back on and talk to you guys whenever I can. But again, man, thank you for everything. Just thank you for the time that you took out for me when I have questions, or even if I'm going through something, I could call you and you'll pick up for me. So I appreciate. He said that truck ain't blue, man.
Man, my truck is sky gray.
Hey Tat, when I come back down, I'm gonna see what color your truck really is because I ain't never seen it.
Take it in the daytime. It's sky gray. My truck is not blue.
Somebody take a picture of Coach Tat truck tomorrow and send it to me. I determine if he got a blue truck. He said it's sky gray.
Sky gray. Hey, that was on the tag. Now sky gray.
Man, Tat done told them folk that what it was. Tat, appreciate you, big bro. If I don't hit you up tonight, I'll definitely call you tomorrow again. You know, I'm gonna text you thank you or something before the night over with.
Man, thank you for having me, brother. Man, you keep doing your thing, man. You're doing a tremendous job of promoting your brand. You're doing a tremendous job of promoting these kids. I love everything that you're doing, man. Just continue to do it. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Don't let nobody deter you. Don't let nobody deter you from doing what you do. Do what you do. And that's what I told you earlier today. When you say you nervous, man, just be you. That's all you can do. Yeah, man, and just continue rocking and rolling, man, the way you rocking.
Man, I got you, big bro. Appreciate you, man. And that work gonna show, bro. Let's keep working.
Yes, sir.
Already.
Yes, sir.
Well, I ain't got much to say. Again, thank you for everybody that came through, spent their time to watch the podcast. We're gonna continue to invite people that want to come in and tell their story, or just want to come in and have a good time with Coach Juke. Again, I appreciate y'all, and remember that work gonna show.